All right, folks, we are getting ready to take this thing out for the fourth time now, and I'm gonna go solo today. And can't see it from here probably, but the lake is pretty darn flat today, and we're supposed to have 6 to 7 knot winds, which should be excellent for me to learn how to control this thing. But first, I'm gonna take you guys through how I rig the boat. This is the process I have to go through every time I take this thing out, and it may be helpful to some others that just bought a little dinghy like this. And I don't have everything figured out, but I'm doing pretty good with it. So anyway, I'll show you step by step what I'm doing here. So I've got everything tied up, tied down so it's not going anywhere. I got a jug of water to take with me today, and I brought a chair this time because we usually go over to that beach. So I might try to go over there, and I got a chair I can sit down, I can eat my lunch and relax for a little bit, and then I'll hop back on the boat and come back. Got my life jacket, I got a paddle, and then here's my sail bag. So I've got my main and my jib in there. This is a little fork I use to help me raise the mast, and then our trolling motor. So I've already installed the battery. I did that at home, so I'm gonna come back here and mount the trolling motor up. So, see if you guys can see that. All right, so anyway, I got the battery installed here. So the next thing is I got to undo all my, so nice and neat in the back. Take my cushion off. Oh, strap down here. Oh yeah, hold on. I got my main sheet all tied up here too. Here. So I'm going to remove my cushion. I'm just going to lay it kind of in the floor, and I'm going to push my boom off to the side here. All right, so there's a hole in the where the rudder is, I guess, the rudder mount, and this little fork thing goes in there, and it helps a lot. So you see, I'm going to lift the mast up and just lay it in there, so now it's up off everything, it's not going to scrape. And the next thing I'm going to do is raise the mast. So what I'm going to do first, and I'll show you, is this is where it mounts. It's got these 2 pins, so you take these pins out, just kind of lay them right here, and then I'm going to come up, I'm going to slide the mast back, I'm going to connect the aft pin, and then I'm going to raise the mast up. Take this, oh, our wood's falling, that's okay. We're just going to kind of slide it back like so. I can do a lot of this not even inside the boat. So side stays, I guess what you call them. There we go, there we go. So I'm going to put that aft pin in now. There we go. I need to get some replacement retaining pins. Mine doesn't have the little retaining ball on it anymore. All right, so you can see how I have that in there. And now I'm gonna grab the mainstay and just pull it up. So stay tuned. Right, here we go. All right, so I'm up, and then I just keep the mainstay tight, and there's a little pulley up here I'm going to put it through, and then I bring it back and hook it onto my bungee, which is going to just hold it up until I get my roller furler installed. Whew. So you can see that just attaches up there. it comes down, it runs through a pulley, and then back here I just got a little carabiner and a bungee connected to the deck right here. So that's going to hold my mast up for a sec while I come down here and put my other pin in. So the aft pin is still in. Let me work this one. Here. My Leatherman out. I use it as a hammer. There it is. All right, so got both my pins in. My mast is up. I got my mainstay bungee on. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is get my furler installed, and then I'll be done with the mast. So here, let's watch this. All right, here's my jib. It's on a roller furler. So what I'm going to do first, we connect the bottom. There's a certain way to do this. See with this thing, how the rope comes out this piece with the hole in it? I found it works best when that is on the bottom. So what I have here is a little mounting bracket with a pin, and then I'm going to put that pin through here and make sure this hole is on the bottom, and that way my furler will work just fine. So mount this over here, set up, here we go. And I like these little rings, they make it easy to slide them on and off. Let's see. Go. Got my pin in, and now I can put my little ring back in to hold it. Boom. So now we're all connected. You can see that. Anyway, the next thing, see my jib sheets here, and this is my furling line. Next thing I'm going to do is just make sure everything's untwisted, and I'm going to grab my jib halyard, which is this wire cable that comes down, and I'll connect to that, and then I'll hoist it up, and I'll show you how it connects. It connects to this right here. So you connect your wire to this, and then you can tension it down here, and then you tie it off to this cleat. So stay tuned, check it out. So this is my the top of my jib, and then I just hooked this shackle to it, and here's my halyard. And my halyard comes out right here. So you can see as I pull on that, see this dances. So there's a pulley up there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hoist it, and then I'll show you it connects to this hook, and we'll tension it. So there we go. Cable, and I'm going to connect it to my hook right here. There. Now I can tension. I hook my jib sheet or my jib halyard up to my hook, and then it's got numbers on the side for tension, so you can tension it down however you want. You can see it up there. I usually just crank it all the way down. I'll be honest. I like to have, I'm not sure if that's right or not, but that's how I do it. Got the mast up now, and I've got my jib on, which really helps secure the mast. So now the mast is good. My next step here is to let's see if we can connect the boom, get the boom going. So the first step here is I want to get, there's a rope right here. It's just tied to the top, no pulley or anything. It's just a solid rope, and it's got a carabiner on the end. This is, I'm gonna call it a topping lift, because that's basically what it's doing. It's lifting the, so let me see if I can set this in here and you can see what I'm doing. So, all right, oh, there it went. I let it go. All right, bring it back here, and I'm gonna pick it up. Ooh. All right, see, I got it connected here, which is raising the boom up, and then see, I can pick the boom up and it's up off of everything, so it lifts, right? So now, see my pin hanging here, that's for my boom. So basically I just have to set it in there like that. Hang on, I can almost do this one-handed. Let's see. Whew. Okay, now our boom is connected by our pin, and see, it just can swing now. Everything's working, okay? So the next thing I need to do is, let's see, we're getting close here. I got my mainsail right there. Let's run our lines for our furling jib. Just a pulley. So you put it through here. This is one pulley, then you got a guide, and then you got your cam cleats. And what I like to do is put a little figure 8 knot right in the end. So see if you guys can see this. There we go. See, it kind of looks like a figure 8. Anyway, there we go. There's one. I'll run this one to the other side. Doesn't really matter which is which. And then my furling line, I'm going to run back. Okay, so you see how it runs to the furler, and then it runs through the retainer here, runs back through this retainer, and then I can pull it all the way back. And right now, I'm going to put it in the clam cleat to hold it tight. And what that's going to do is allow me to pull my sheets tight, and the sail won't come out. So now, see, my lines are nice and tight up, and they're out of the way and everything. Let me go do the other side. So let me get this. This is the one we haven't done yet. Ooh, I'm glad I caught that. See, it had an extra turn in here, and that was just going to throw me off, so I'd have to pull the rope out and have to redo it. All right, so remember on the other side we had to go through this pulley. Then we went through our guide, and then through our cam cleat. And see, I can pull it tight. It's not going to pull the sail out because I got my furling line locked over there. Anyway, let me put a figure 8 in this side. I like to do it, I don't know if you guys can see this, just like a regular knot, and then you just go one more half time around and it makes a figure 8. See? All right, this green line here is my traveler, and for the most part I just keep it centered in the back, but I do have adjustments here. I can pop it up from this cleat and pull it to one side or the other. All right, there's that. Let me get my main sheet pulled in here. There we go. There's my main sheet. It's pulled tight. I got that situated. Here's my boom vang is what I think this is. So I've got it. It runs from here down to this pulley and then through this cleat here. So when you pull on it, you can set how far it allows this boom to lift up. So anyway, let me remove this. We can put this up. All right, guys. We're getting there. We got our jib on, we got our mast up, we got our boom on. All of our lines are run and tight. The only thing we're lacking is our main sail. And we're gonna put that on now. Let me show you guys the rudder real quick. So right now you can see it's up, it's not going in the water. It's because of this white rope is locked into this clam cleat here. This pulls it up and down. So this, see it go up and down. And then this red one is a bungee, and it makes the rudder go down. If it starts floating in the water, most of the time I just have this hooked up, and it just hooks right into this little cleat here. But it's important that this is a bungee because it forces the rudder down, and if you run into something, a rock or a log or something, you want this bungee to be able to give and let the rudder swing up if it needs to. If you had a rope in here, if you hit something, it would just damage your rudder. So this is pretty smart. I like this. So anyway, we're gonna leave that up like that until we get in the water. The same with the trolling motor. We've got it up and locked. It's not going anywhere. Let me just put the mainsail up and then we're ready to roll. All right, I think the GoPro is gonna work again. So I wanted to show you this too. This is my centerboard, and it's got a bungee on it too. So the bungee is the one that holds it down. So when I get in the water, this whole thing will slide back, and see it runs through this guide and then into this cam cleat. And right now I've got it in the up position. So I've got the rope pulled tight to keep it this way, which is up. You see it move? So this cam cleat right here is holding that. So when I get in the water, I'll pull that out and put the other side in and pull it tight. And see, I'm still trying to figure out what some of this stuff does. I don't know what this clam cleat is for, because our boom vang's here, and then I've got another pulley up here. I have no idea. This one. Anyway, here's our main halyard right here. So it has a cool little locking pin. So let me get our sail, I'll hook it in here, and then I'm going to hoist it up. Ooh, we're catching wind already. All right, sail is up. All right, so 7 minutes later. All right, so first thing I did is I fed my sail all the way back. Let me get on this side and I'll show you. I fed it all the way, and good, I need to tighten this anyway, but I fed it back and hooked it in here, and this is loose, which made it easier for me to connect it here. And then once my lower piece was in, gosh, let me go back around to the other side, and you can see there's a little cutout right here in the mast, and that's where I guess, what are they called? I'll have to look up the name for them. Anyway, you feed these in and you raise it till you get to this metal cable, and then you bring it down and you just hook it on to here. It's all like pre-measured exactly how it should be, and then you just wrap it up and hang those in there. So now look, we got our sail up. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Let's tighten this. And you do that by tightening, you pull here, and then you hook it in your clam cleat there. There. So, see, now it's nice and tight. It's pulling that sail back. And this, the topping lift, I think I'm going to disconnect it and just hook it right down here where it was, out of the way, so it's not interfering with my sails. And you'll notice these side stays are loose, but when the wind hits you, you really start going. And check this out too. I cut some strips of grocery bags and I hung one at each spreader. That way, no matter what side of the boat I'm sitting on, it's a kind of a wind indicator. Anyway, that's it. That's it. We're all set. Now, this is going to be the tricky part, because in the past I had my oldest son and then I had my youngest son up here. We would put this thing in the water and then just pull it over to the dock using a rope. So that made it easy to get on and off the trailer. But today I'm solo, so I think what I'm going to do is just do like I do with my regular boat and put it in the water, use the trolling motor to troll it around, and then over to the dock and tie it up, and then go get my truck and park it, then go down and get on the boat and take off, and then reverse order to put it back on the trailer. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to film that. It's going to be stressful enough. So next part of the video, I should be on the water, so stay tuned. All right, folks, I got it in the water. A couple guys that were at the boat ramp ended up helping me, so I was very appreciative, because the wind is blowing pretty good. I think it's going to be a great day for sailing. You can see the boat tied up here. Yeah, I need to figure out a way to manage the sail while it's down, because that's just too much, and that thing's swinging around everywhere. So that's my next thing to do. Anyway, we're pointed into the wind, the sheet is loose, and we're just tied up here. So our trolling motor's in, our rudder's down. I just got to get in this thing and take off. So let me switch batteries out real quick, and then we'll set sail.